1. Go.
Hi, this is Everett, Everett's Watercolors. Welcome to Simply Drawing with Everett. I'm back later tonight, going to do a little drawing exercise. And I'm broadcasting live from my studio to YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitch, and later on to Instagram. I'm in the studio with my wife, Gloria, tonight.
Hi.
And she'll be monitoring the broadcast and also the chat room. The chat room's live, so if you have a question during the broadcast, give me a question or a comment, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. We had little technical problems earlier in my earlier broadcast, so tonight we hope everything runs smoothly. So tonight, what I'm going to do, we're going to do a drawing exercise, and I'm going to do one of my favorite subjects, which is a lighthouse. So let's go over to my drawing board, and there we are. There's the lighthouse, and if you notice a couple of things about a lighthouse, of course, lighthouses come in all kinds of shapes and sizes, and I've studied lighthouses for a long time, and I've seen lots of lighthouses. Some of them are square, some of them are round, some of them are octangular, and so forth. This happens to be a round one, a cylinder shape. So tonight we're going to learn number one, drawing a cylindrical shape like this, and notice the arcs. If you look at the arc here at the bottom round, this one, it gets a little bit steeper as you go up. And that's because of the perspective. You're looking up at an angle to those circles, and they become sharper in angle. So that's the two things we're going to learn tonight, is the cylinder and also how to draw an arc along with the shapes. So first of all, just like every other exercise I go through, I do a little bit of sighting. So first of all, I'm going to get myself a reference line here. I think here at the ground, I'm going to make mine down here on a drawing paper. And this is a standard sheet of 8.5 by 11 drawing paper. And I'm just going to draw a line here as my ground. I'm using an HB pencil just to get a nice light line. Okay, now the first thing I do is I do a little sighting. First sighting I'm going to measure the width of this at the base. So I take a measurement here, and now I'm going to compare that with the height. That's 1, 2. So this is 1, and this is 2 up. So the ratio is 2 to 1 as far as the width and the height. So I can start here with let's say with a dimension here. I want to go this way, and maybe go out over here. And then what I do is do the same thing. I take this, marks I put down on the paper, and I'll go up. I'll go up 1, 2. So that gives me my height from here up to here. Okay, and now, so you can see here the base is wider than it is at the top. So we're going to estimate that. I'm going to give this. Now I'm going to draw with my HB pencil, and I'm going to go in here with it. Just do a beginning line. I'm going to angle this in slightly, and on the other side the same thing. I'll angle in slightly. I'm bringing it in this way at the top. Slight angle, just like it is here. And I'm not following exactly what I see in the picture. I'm just doing my own interpretation. And that's what a drawing is. A drawing is an interpretation. It's a likeness, and we don't look exactly at trying to get exactly. We're not looking for idealistic. We're realistic. We're just trying to get an impression of what that looks like. Okay, so now I've got the top, and I've got the width, height and the width. Okay, now another thing I want to measure is let's look at these circular arcs. Let's take this one right here. Let's take the first one at the base to the bottom of that first arc. This first segment is that big, and we're 1, 2, 3. That's about a third. So this distance here is about a third, a third, and a third. So that's the approximation we're going to do. I'm going to put up here. Now I'm going to mark here. I'm going to estimate a third, and then I'm going to calibrate that. Let's see if that's a third. So I come down here with my mark and go 1, 2, 3. A little too long, so I'll shorten it just a little bit. Oh, that's 1/3. That's 2/3. That's 3/3. That's close enough, right there. So there's about where I want to put that first arc. And so I'm going to put this is level, almost level. You see, there's a slight arc even here at the base. But we're going to start with this. This is going to have a slight arc because it's a cylinder, and also we're looking at it from the ground level up. So it's going to have a slight bend to it. So that first one's got a slight bend. Okay, now I'm going to take this distance here, the height of that first segment, and move up and do the second segment. Right there. And that arc is a little bit sharper. It's going to have more arc, it's going to have more bend to it because it's higher up on the cylinder. You can see that if you look at that visually, you can see that it's got a little more bend to it than the first arc, because we're looking up. And the one here at the very top now, and I'm going to use this at the base. This is a lot more, so this is going to come down. I'm going to come around. I'm going to make this a lot more sharper. Okay, all right. So I pretty well got that the way I like it. Now let's look at the next. The next circle is going to be the base of And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this picture away. The color I'm going to do a black and white. So I took the color copy, and now I'm going to look strictly at the shapes. This is a black and white version. Okay. So I'm going to come down here at the base here, and I can see this little angle here, and there's one over here. And I'm going to draw. This is really there's a little walking platform that goes around the top. This is where the watchman walks around at the top to inspect, as a lookout, so forth. So this is like a little walkway around the top of the lighthouse right here. So it goes behind and it comes around. Okay. Then I'm going to draw in the railings now. The railings. This first railing, you can look at the distance now. It's about a little bit wider than this. That railing goes around an arc also. So we're going to draw another arc. And it's going to come around. You can see here it interfaces about right here. Again, it goes around behind, and this one side over here, it arcs around. It's another arc, a little sharper than the one below. And it's going to intersect here. It goes behind. Okay. And there's another arc above that. There's a railing with two, there's a middle one and there's a top one. So we'll go up a little bit higher. Now that comes around, and it's got a sharper arc to it, almost parallel. These are about parallel. And that comes down, and you can see here, it intersects here, and it goes in behind, because it's above. So this is going to be coming around, this one in the top railing of this railing up here at the top of the lighthouse. And it's going to come behind over here. I can meet it on this side. Okay. So let's see if I like that. Yeah, that's pretty good. Okay. All right. Now I can go ahead and put in the what I'm going to do is put in the poles, or the railing poles. This one here is on the edge. And there's one over here about on this side. This comes in a little bit further in. And this comes across, it's a little bit over the halfway mark. It's over here. And this one comes down, and it's probably not quite that far away. There, this way, here to the edge, and there's one. This one is almost invisible over here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is erase this one here. Make that a little bit shorter, a little bit closer here. Okay. All right. Now to get the top of the lighthouse, I can measure that. The inside of this beam, right inside this, right here, is where the lighthouse, the top of the lighthouse is, where the lamps are. This one over here is about halfway through, and it comes up here. Okay. Now I can draw on the window, the top of the window. This one here. Let's see. Let me get the maybe get the window lash here, the window portion. So this comes up. This window is about right here next to the beam. And this one comes down about halfway. Right there. Okay, now we can put the top of the window in. And then there's a little top roof for the top of the lighthouse. And then at the center up here, there's a little where it holds the wind indicator. At the top, and it goes a long pole, and it has an arrow up here, an arrow pointing toward the direction of the wind. It will point to it, and it's going to have a tail at the other end. Okay. All right, there's a long pole here on this side. There's a long pole on this side, which is located about halfway in between these two beams here. And it's, let's see, it goes up. It has a light on it. And that's the outdoor light, I guess. That's the outdoor light, I guess, outside to light up the yard here below. Put that in. Okay. All right. Now below the walkway here, there's a seam that goes around. And there's a little porthole here, a little window. It's a circular window. I'll put that in. And there's little structures here that are the brackets underneath to hold that walkway up. These are brackets. And one over here. Okay. Okay, then we come on down, and there's a little window here. I'll bring it up a little bit closer so you can see it. Okay, what I've done so far, I've got basically I roughed in this structure. I've got the three segments. I got in the walkway. I got the railings in. I got the lighthouse lamps up here, the windows and the lamp inside. I got the top, and I got the wind indicator. And I got this tall pole here with a light on the top of it. Okay. Now down here is a window on the side over here, and down at the bottom is a doorway, and there's another window over here. So I'm going to go ahead and draw those in. So there's a stairway, and once you go through the doorway, there's a stairway that goes up the lighthouse inside, and here's a window to look outside. So I look here from this side. There's a little top to this window, little ledge, and it comes around. It comes down not quite halfway. It's not that far down, about that far there. Then it has a ledge on it, on the other side of the window, and there's a little window division there, and it has a circular top to it. Yeah, from here. Okay, then we'll come down here to the doorway, and the door top is a little above halfway. So it starts here, and halfway, a little bit above that. It's got a circular top to it. And that's the doorway. Then on the side over here is about the same height. Another window, so it's got a little peak to it, just like the one above here, except it's in white, staying with the color of the sides. And it's facing a little bit further more around the corner. And there's a base to it here. That's another window. Okay. All right. Now what I'm going to do now, I'm going to take the pencil. I'm going to go a little bit deep, a little bit darker. So I'm going to take the 4B pencil. Take the 4B pencil, and I'm going to go ahead and put the little bit darker outlines. So we'll start here at the top, and bring this on down. This is the top. I'm going to start over here and come on down the side. And here's the window. Come alongside that, and there's the bottom part. Okay, that's the left side. Over here to the right. Come on down and get the center section. And on down here to this other window and the base. Okay. Then I'll get the walkway at the top. That's an arc. It's an arc as it goes around. It's circular, but from our perspective, it's an arc. It's a circular shape, but looking up like this, it's going to have an arc to it. It's going to have actually an elliptical shape. And I'm going to go ahead and darken it in. I'm going to use my, as I'm here drawing this, I'm going to go ahead and put the darken in. So I'm going to use the 6B lead. I'm going to go ahead and put the this dark area because it's shaded. I'll put that in. So that's the walkway at the top of the lighthouse to go around the outside of the lamp. Okay. Then I can draw the railing in now. A little darker. These are the rails. Put those in. Over here. Okay. Then I'll get the circular part of the railing coming down. Okay. Sorry about that. And then get the top part of the railing at the top. Again, these are all arcs. These are all ellipses because we're looking at it from an angle looking up. So they're circles, but from this angle they're going to be ellipses. Okay, then the windows, I'm going to kind of black those in. There's one right here, and I'm going to go ahead and shade that in. And there's one here next to it. And there's one more over here. There's really those 3 front ones here about the only ones you can really see. The rest of them they've got light coming from behind. You can't. These are in shadow from the top portion of the lighthouse. And there's a side of the top right there. Come on down. There's a side of the top over here. Okay. Then the roof is kind of angular. It's not circular. It's angular. It's got probably 8 sides to it, or say 8 edges to it. And it's going to be darker. The top of the darker. And then the top of the lighthouse has got a little knob to it. Little knob at the point. And then we got the antenna on top. Or the antenna is the little pole there. A little wind direction arrow. And this light pole out here is a light pole on the side over here. A little thicker than the railings. Has a dark base to it. And a lamp on top. Okay. Then we'll come on down. I've got these brackets now. These brackets now hold up the base. These are the holds the structure of that walkway at the top. Then there's a little circular window here. Little porthole looking out. Okay. Then we got the this window here on the side. A window on the side here, and it's dark. It matches the color of the dark side of the lighthouse. And I'm going to leave the windows white so we can tell there's glass there. There's glass looking out, so I'm going to leave it white. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and shade in the this section here. This is a section that goes around an arc. This is an arc, semicircle. Arc is a part of a circle, and this happens to be an oval, so it becomes an arc. Straight down. I use the side of the pencil. I'm using the 6B lead now, so it's nice and dark. And come down the side. I grew up on the East Coast around South Jersey, and we had a lighthouse, Cape May Lighthouse, which was a very famous lighthouse. And I used to get on and visit that all the time. So if you live along the coast or along the large lakes, even up in the Great Lakes, there are lots of lighthouses still in operation. They form a very, very valuable service for the shippers. The shippers are people sailing and working on the water. So I've always enjoyed painting and drawing lighthouses. This is one subject I've always enjoyed doing. So this one here is a little bit flatter here at the bottom because we're closer to the bottom. This is a little bit sharper because it's higher up. And as we get higher, okay, and we'll come down here and let's get the doorway. So it's got a circular top, straight sides, and the doorway. There's a doorway in here, and I can show it. I can show the inside of that. Just say it's. Let's say it might be, maybe the doorway is open. I'm going to leave the doorway open. There's an opening inside, so we'll show the shadow going through. Then over here is a is a white window, a white covered window to match the white of the bottom of the lighthouse. And there's a little window there on the side. Okay.
The question is, do you need to keep a sharp pencil at all times?
Yeah. Well, it's nice to have that's why you have a sharpener. No, you don't have to keep it sharp. What I do is I have several pencils. So if I start drawing, I have another pencil standing by, a backup pencil. And that way, if one gets a little dull, then I pick up the other one. So, have a couple pencils ready. Don't just rely on one. But if you sharpen your pencil before you start, it should last you the whole way through the drawing. But you can have a backup. Always have a backup to keep you moving, or take a break and sharpen the pencil if it gets dull. And I have a little sharpener here. If I need some help, I just put a little sharpener or a piece of sandpaper to sharpen the lead. Okay. All right. Now the reason I took away the color is if you notice in the color version, if my shading, I would probably have shaded this a lot lighter, because you see the color red, even though it's darker than the white, it doesn't look very dark here. And even up here at the top, it's got a little bit of light reflection up in there. But when you look at the black and white version, which is what you can see here, the red is very dark compared to the white sides. So that's why if I was going to draw an item in pencil, black and white pencil, I would get a black and white version of the photograph and use that as a reference of value. You get the proper value with a black and white photo. That's why a color photograph doesn't give you the exact values that you're looking for as far as the intensity of the black pencil or black lead. Okay, so that's why I went to the black. I want to show you that also. Don't always rely on colors. Colors can be deceiving as far as values are concerned. But going to the black and white, you'll get a much better view of the values. So, any questions or comments? Okay. If you have questions or comments after the video, there's a comment section at the bottom of the video if you want to leave a comment or a question about either drawing or if you want to join my Everett Watercolors art group on Facebook, you can join that. And if you want to do a drawing like this, then do a drawing like this of using this photograph, and then you can post it on my Facebook page, Everett Watercolors art group. And I'll be glad to share it with the rest of the group there, and I'll be happy to see it. So this is the end of my description today, a good demonstration, and I was going to show you a couple samples of my models, but I'll have to wait for another time to do that. But I have made model lighthouses many years ago, and I keep those. I took little small wooden models and painted them different colors. Of all the colors along the East Coast lighthouses. It's amazing how many different colors there are and the different sizes. So go out and study. What I recommend, go out and study a real lighthouse or get pictures of one and then try the drawing. And they're all different. Every one of them is a different size, a different shape, a different color. And they're fascinating. So let me take you back to the main camera.
Stark Music says, I'd love to see the models.
Yeah,
So,
I'm gonna find them. I looked for them a little bit earlier today, but I couldn't find them. They're somewhere in my studio, and
maybe you can show them next week if you
yeah,
can.
subscribe to my channel, and you'll be notified of my next live video. And next time I come on, if I find them next time or sometime soon, I'll pull them out and show them to the group. Now tonight, what we learned: number one, we were working with a cylindrical object, which was the lighthouse. And when you look at perspective, looking upward, the angles and the sizes and the direction of those circles become ellipse, and it becomes arcs. So really, I wanted to show tonight was number one, how I cited the dimensions using a pencil, getting the proper proportions of the width versus the height, and then divided the sections up into equal amounts based upon the photograph. And then I did the arc drawing based on a lighter arc, and as I went up higher, the arcs got sharper. The angles got sharper. So ovals in perspective. That was tonight's lesson, to learn a cylindrical shape. That's what I wanted to show you and have you see that, and then I want you to try that out.
Dark Music says, I'll keep an eye out. So if we can find them, we could even try to post them on Facebook, and then you can try to show them live next week if possible.
I'll give you an announcement if I got them, and I'll show them on live again on YouTube or on Facebook, and I'll let you know when I find them. They're around. I know I have them because I've seen them before. They're just not really handy at this point to bring up. So you all stay. See you next week. I'll be back again next week at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with Simply Drawing with Everett, and I'm here also at 2:00 p.m. with Everett's Watercolors. I do a watercolor demonstration and discussion, and then over the weekends I do. Anyone can draw with one line only on Sundays, and you might enjoy seeing that. It's become very popular. Now, if you're subscribed to my channel, you'll be notified of all my live videos and all my posts. And then I do some shorts on weekends also, so you can see those on my YouTube channel. So until next week, you all stay safe, and I'll see you in the next live video.